Hello, welcome back to school. This is gonna be an addendum. It's just gonna be literally planted right at the end of my practice video. But well, I could actually put this as a separate video. I think that's what I might do. I might put this as a separate video. This is going to be about mental practicing and what that is. I'm sorry, my thumb is in the way. My hand? I don't know what that is. Either way, something is in the way. Mental practicing is basically when you're practicing music or any other thing without physical equipment. Like you're just using your head. You're not using a piano, like if you're a sports person. You're not using any balls or anything like that. So, yeah. Today, after my hodgepodge of a mess of a practice at the keyboard, I went out for lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever meal you want to call it. Then I went and I just kind of hung out. Oh my gosh. And then I went into the choir room for choir. I didn't want to come back here because I didn't have to turn around and go back to choir. So yeah, we got the music for the winter tree lighting concert. That's why I went to choir, so I can get that music and not have to wait for it. But anyways, so I was in the choir room, not really doing much. I didn't want to practice physically because the choir director was in there and she was preparing for rehearsal. So I thought, well, what better use of my time than to do some mental practicing? So, as mentioned, mental practice is when you practice away from your instrument using your brain and your body and your music. Let me flip this around and show you what I did. So this is the Arcadel Ave Maria that I'm working on, the list arrangement of it, or transcription, however you want to call it. So I looked at page 2 when I was practicing at the organ today. I saw that page 1, it's coming. We'll just say it's coming. Page 2 had a new section, and the notes I could play, but it's the rhythm that kind of gets me tripped up. So that's what I was working on, was the rhythm. And in this case, one of my issues is holding this note here a bit longer than it should be. And I don't know why I do that, but yeah. And I think there might be something else in this area, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know that this section up here is definitely a snag because there's a lot of writing there. So in this case, to fix this or to practice this passage, I would physically play the left hand on my table here, or whatever you want to call this thing, desktop, what do they call it? A clipboard. It's a very cheap clipboard. So I would play the left hand and establish a tempo. I'd play the left hand, and then I would sing the right hand. I could sing using da-da-da or solfege or whatever floats my boat. So for this little demo to show what it is that I did, I'm just gonna do a duh. So setting your tempo and then counting in and then playing the left hand and then singing the right hand. Let's see if I can get this note here to be held at the right time so that this note comes in on beat 3 and not on beat 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. No, oops, that's my totally cat. Come on, cat. She's excited. Mommy's home. 1. Bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Ah, darn it. Something happened here. Yeah, stuff like that happens. Da, 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 da. That's not right. Let me figure. Now I gotta figure this out. 1. Da, da, da. Okay, this note is held too long. That note is held too long. Da, da. Wait, hold on. I don't know. I think I'm messing up. This note comes in on beat 4, right up here. That note comes in on beat 4. Mental work is almost more work than like physical work. Okay. 3. Da, da. Wait. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 or something like that. That's kind of like what it is. I don't know if you saw my hand or not, but that's kind of like what it is. So I did that. I worked, I looking through the page 3, I saw there's another blues section, which is actually the same as this blues section, but it's only played up 1 octave for the most part. So I was like, awesome. So one of these days I will put that blues section with the other blues section, and then I will have all my blues sections learned. Yay! On page 4, there's a red section that's very similar to the passage that I was just looking at. So this is a passage I started looking at. I went through the melody part, and I saw that this rhythm here is different. Da, 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 down here, wherever that note is, there. This melody here is a little different. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Now this, I think, is just all open fifths, which, an open fifth, it's an interval. We'll just leave it at that. It's an interval. We will touch on those when we get to those about music and stuff. But my problem was seeing, okay, is these falling on every beat, or are they falling on different beats? I started working that on the chalkboard today, at choir, and like just as I was starting to work it out, I had to leave. So yeah, I will probably work on this later, probably on Monday. Or not Monday, but on Sunday. Whenever I get to the organ next, I will try to look at that. And then all of this stuff from here, where is it? From here all the way down to the bottom is already learned and memorized. I think it's, as far as like memory work, I think it's coming along okay. I have issues with jumping from one register, one part of the keyboard to the other. I noticed that today that could just be not being able to see the keys or just not having practice doing that. The other piece, while I'm just kind of doing a hodgepodge of music review here, the other piece is the Gounod, Bach Gounod. I made a copy of the actual prelude that they had in the organ library at the church where I'm practicing. So I made a copy of that because this score is actually written in a different key than what I am playing it. And the reason the reason it's in a different key is beyond me. But the reason why I am playing this in the original key of C major is because I have played this prelude a couple different times in C major, and I don't want to burden myself with learning the whole thing in another key. It might be easy to transpose, but I did not want to go through that. So instead, I am transposing this by sight, which is a very useful skill that every musician should know how to do in all sorts of intervals. This is being transposed up a major second, if I'm not mistaken. Correction. No, this isn't, I don't know. All the notes are being moved up a major second. So I am done with this page, which is page 1. I'm pretty much done with this page up to about the bottom. The bottom here is, getting the melody part is still fairly new. And this accompaniment part is still fairly new. And up here is still all fairly new. And up there's a hash mark. So in reality, I have this line of music, that's 2 lines, 3 lines, and like a measure or 2, if that. I'm thinking I might be able to have this learned in a couple weeks or so. I'm shooting for the end of June for this one, so that'll be good. The other one, I don't know. It's still too early to tell. There's a lot of odds and ends that I still haven't even looked at yet. So, I did not do any mental work on the Bach one because I just was kind of fed up with it and I didn't really want to mess with it. So I think I'm just getting tired of this. But yeah. So that concludes mental work that I did and a little bit of an update of where things are at with the pieces. This is in preparation of Prelude on August 11, so however many days that is from now. I don't know if I will get to the organ on Friday, which would be tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this. I have an appointment and it's gonna be just say it's an all day. By the time I get done with it, I probably won't be back till 2 or 3. So it's gonna be a really long day. I have to be there at 8 or something. And it's out of town, which means it's traveling. So I have to be prepared to leave before we leave. It's just a lot of stuff. Saturdays I don't usually do practice unless I have to do a makeup or whatever. But I might do some mental practice. I'll see if I can do mental practice if I don't get any physical practicing in. And Monday or Friday, I could easily do mental practice in the van or whatever, or the car or whatever I'm riding in. For this appointment, I could do mental practice there and back, and then I'll cover 2 hours of work. So that'll be fun and exciting if I could do that. Other than that, the next time I'll be physically at the keyboard will be on Sunday morning, more than likely. Um, I still have to do. I'm gonna redo that reading lesson and that writing lesson for Braille. I got 2 of them. I still write out the contraction for and. I still have to do a whole bunch of arithmetic homework. Yeah, I have a lot of actual schoolwork I have to do tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next week. So that'll be fun and exciting. But basically, this was just to talk about mental practice. What I did with that today, I think it overall came out to like 45 minutes, give or take. I don't know. I didn't really keep track. I'm just kind of guesstimating 45 minutes, 50 minutes, somewhere around there. But now that I have a plan, now that I have a planner, I could actually, try to keep track of that stuff, and I think it'll be good. I should include mental practice as part of my practice because it is as much, if not more important than the physical practice, because mental practice basically it prepares your brain for the actual physical practicing. So yeah, kudos for that. So that's what's going on. That's where things are at. I need to go to bed. It's really late. And I need to wake up early tomorrow morning. If I don't get to the keyboard tomorrow morning, I hope teacher would understand that I have an appointment. And I just had choir, and I'm getting bed late because of choir. So, yeah. Alright. If you want to like, share, subscribe, don't forget to ring the notification bell for all notifications.